Welcome, one and all. It is time for more of the Bronze League Legends. I don't know what that intro was, but we are back for a French mirror. Sorry, I got something stuck in my mouth. French mirror. Actually, it just sounds like I'm trying to say mirror in French, doesn't it? A French mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some wonderful folks here. CNC, it's Carlo Loader that we've cast before up against Copper Cop. Minus 1p here. But maybe he's got the big P in the game. Because we have a very tight one here, actually. 450 ELO. Neck and neck. They both are 450. As close, as tight as we've had so far in Bronze League Legends. And you know, like mirror matchups, when we talk about them in high rank, we usually talk about how they are a matchup of small differences to make them out. Well, we get it here now in Bronze League Legends, and we get to see if it is small differences or large ones. Like idling your villagers for several seconds each time. Because folks, it's already delivering. We have a very big diversification in openings here. You see, Carlo Load likes to AFK his villages to the southwest, and Copper likes to idle his villages to the north. Now, that seems like a trivial detail, but it's actually kind of a big difference when you consider that I'm pretty sure Carlo is directing his villages quicker, and he's directing them in the direction he wants them, which sounds good for directing. But like what I mean is if you check, Copper Cop always sends the villagers to the same waypoint. This is going to become very inefficient as the game goes on. Usually you want to just waypoint your villagers to what you want them to do. And Carlo, while he hasn't like clicked on the resource, he kind of is doing that, right? Like when we watch a villager come out, he wants to feel that sense of power. It's not enough to just delegate what they've got to do. He likes to micromanage them because then they know that he is the Lord. See, look at that. Not a single iota of idle time. Except for this guy. That is the price you pay. If you want to micro your villages this tightly, you are going to have a scout who is pretending to work. Carlo has gone out into the berry straight away, as has Copper. Now, this is interesting. Like in Copper's case, it seems to be a lack of sheep. Carlo's, if he just brings the sheep back home, he doesn't have to do this. Finally realizes it, sends the sheep on their merry way. Meanwhile, Copper is going to be on berries for a long time. Because he, like, Timmy the Scout here, he was going about his business. He saw what Jeremy was doing. And he's like, you know what, taking a break looks pretty fun. I'm going to do that too. He just vibes. He chills. Jeremy, by the way, is now just taking a break behind the town center, right? This is where everyone goes to smoke some cigarettes. And now Carlo's going to get an opportunity to smoke Copper, because Copper is very late on his tech up timing. He actually went for wheelbarrow first. That was the gold required for the tech up. It's an interesting choice. Typically, when you're playing French, what you want to be doing is you want to be kicking your tech up off, and then about halfway through your tech up, you want to start researching wheelbarrow. You should have the ability to do that. And usually, because the way you open with like 3 people on gold, you will be fine to afford your first night when you tech up, even though you went for wheelbarrow. Carlo will definitely be in that position because he didn't get wheelbarrow at all. In fact, he invested 5 people in the School of Cavalry. He actually opens with a Rax? What? It's actually crazy because this is the right play in a French mirror. We just like don't see it much these days. I feel like, you know, maybe it's because we just don't see French mirrors much. But even at high level, I feel like, you know, one player, especially when they are quicker to tech up, will not go spears. Right? Because if you're going spears, you're going less knights. And Carlo is like, aha, I have the advantage. I have teched up. What will I do with that advantage? I will defend. Huzzah. But not huzzah for him. Because look what Copper Cop is doing. He's building the Chamber of Commerce. Oh my god. And Copper Cop, because he's now paranoid about night raids, they've built spears themselves. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Now, this makes a lot more sense for Copper Cop. Because Copper wants to trade. Carlo, however, unless he's planning to go for like a second TC, which it looks like he is on the stone for, this doesn't make any sense. I'm hoping he's going second TC, but I'm also really hoping he's going to scout. But it seems like once again, Reginald, yeah, his name just keeps changing, has decided to go on a long-term break in the corner. Because as we know, there's no real way for people to track how effective their employees are. You know, like if I'm Overlord Carlo Lord at home, I don't know if my scout is doing his duties. I don't have GPS tracking technology. Guys, we're in the feudal age. I just trust what he tells me later on. Like, yeah, I scout their base and they have sheep. They got a lot of sheep. Carlo's gonna be like, well, that sounds very believable. I mean, we had a lot of sheep too. So I believe that they at least at some point had a lot of sheep too. What he won't tell them about is that Copper is trading. Copper, even with the traders. He waypoints them out. No. 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 It's a one trade boy. We've got a one trade boy. Copper ran all the way out of his base across to the neutral trade post to build this landmark. And not only that, I'm not sure that these are all unpaid for. Let's do the count. 1, 2, 3. He's actually paying for traders, folks. 3 of these are free, the 4th one was not. But it's okay, because if he gets them this early, even if they cost 120 resources, folks, they only have to take 120 trips to pay back. And by the way, that would take them, this is the grotesque part, it takes them about 16 seconds to make that trip. I'm not going to do the maths further than that. You can do what you want with those numbers. But I am proud to say that one trade boy has made a return. Carlo still has no clue about this. Carlo still also does not have the wood to build a second TC. In fact, at this rate, Carlo would probably get into Castle Age and build a castle before he was a town center. That is the upside for Copper. The downside is that Carlo knows how to produce villages. Copper keeps getting the birds and the bees from the parents and then occasionally forgetting. And you can see that on the eco count. Despite the fact that he's got trade as well. He's several behind. Now he's going to be a whole age behind. And Copper continues to just patrol units around, paranoid about what's happening. We have got a proxy base towards the center, which I absolutely adore. And Carlo continues to just remain defensive. But he's building knights now. By the way, I can't. Every time I see units produced like this, it's like my brain fries a little. Because I'm so used to waypoints. Am I the only one that has this? Like, I'm so used to waypoints constantly. That watching, especially out of a School of Cavalry, just watching them spawn, I kind of just want to watch the pattern and see how they come out, right? Like, I don't want Carlo to move his knights for the next 6 minutes. Okay, so he comes out the front. Where's the next one going to come out, folks? It's going to be here, right? Has to be the northeast side. It's just ring of roses, right? Over and over again. I like how this is what counts as content, just watching it. I was wrong. Okay, guys, we're taking bets. We're taking bets. North, west, south, east. Be quick, though. Or you can have northwest, southwest, like, you know, southwest, and so on. You gotta get your bets in quick, though. It's gonna be southwest. I quit. Guys, like, honestly, I had to remortgage the house. It cost me too much. You were all wrong. All right, and this is a lesson about gambling. Don't do it, folks. Well, this is quite the gamble from Carlo. Not building extra military production while Copper has an army this big. And a keep being built up by 2 villages. But folks, Carlo, he's got his feudal age knights. They're very handy when you tech up into Castle Age. Oh no, in the castle. Carlo, no. Copper. The boy in blue. And he's going to send more villagers. Oh, Carlo, this ain't it. There is no way this goes up. We talked about gambling. Carlo wasn't just doing it at the School of Cavalry. He's like a person that loses his Corvette at the roulette table. He's like, well, if I win the next one, like double or nothing, baby. Double or nothing. Triple or nothing. And Carlo learns a bad lesson from that. He learns that actually if you go triple or nothing, it pays. He gets the castle. But it costs him 35 villages. 35! I wasn't even sure they built that many. Luckily, Carlo does know to keep producing villagers. So it's not over for him yet. But, folks, I would be lying if I didn't say it looked grim. I would be lying if I didn't say I'd have to be 30 drinks in to not call this ugly. This is rough. This is bad. The only upside is that Copper has stopped at 6 traders. I've got to stop. God damn, look at him go. You know, if you watch him at 2 times speed, it almost seems like it's worthwhile. And Copper, he's going to keep up the aggression while also now teching up. And he's going for the Guildhall because Copper has realized, you know what? If Carlo's not going to upgrade his units to Castle Age, and I don't care. I don't care about all these tech advantages. Especially considering that Carlo decided to get Royal Bloodlines, but did not decide to get the Castle Age upgrades for his cavalry. Slight oversight by Carlo. And Carlo is now dirt poor. Despite being French, he's more Oliver Twist right now. Please, sir. Please. Can I get some gold? And Copper's like, no, we only have copper here. Oh. Wow, that's a lie by Copper, by the way. He has plenty of gold. He's absolutely fine. He's vibing. He's loving life. Carlo, out of desperation, knows only one place is safe on the map. Only one place exists with gold on the map. The rest of this map, the pitch black, it's undiscovered. It does not exist, okay? It's the end of the earth. It's the edge of the abyss. So Carlo only has one choice. There's only one gold vein that exists. And thankfully, Reginald discovered it a long time ago in the year 1066. Everyone always focuses on the Battle of Hastings then, but no one gives Reginald credit for discovering the Great Deposit of the East. And that Great Deposit is going to allow Carlo to get back into this game. Because Copper, it seems to have maybe, like, I don't know, orders were lost along the way. Or maybe they just became a little bit too cozy with this idea of settling near a tree line. His Vanguard army are not attacking. In fact, I don't know if this is like the feudal age version of P-Hub or something, because these guys are looking at a lot of wood. They've just been staring at forests for the last few minutes. But they've had their fun, and now they want their war. They're on the move. Trebs are also being built into by Copper. He's got the high ground, Anakin. Hello. Okay, that position is beautiful. It would be less ugly afterwards, though, if you defended them. How did they find us? We're in the trees. Well, it turns out that Carlo's people do math. They calculated the trajectory of the rocks, but they used all their brain power doing that, and thus ran into a bunch of enemies on the way home. But they did get rid of the trebuchets, and they did buy time. In the meantime, Copper, he sees that there's a marketplace here. He goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Only I am allowed to trade, okay? Only I can be a one-trade boy. He understood there was a risk that this could be a free trade route. Not like free trade as in back and forth. I mean, like, literally plus free. And Copper, I mean, he's kind of taking his time and giving Carlo away getting back into this game, right? Like, this feels like this game should have been over about 4 minutes ago. But Copper, maybe he's not used to this feeling. Maybe he's had pain and plenty of French mirrors. Or maybe he just likes to milk it. And, you know, if you're not playing Marlians, there's only one thing that you can milk in the game. And it's a dying opponent. Meanwhile, back at home, have we been using the blacksmiths? We have. This is interesting. Like, I've been keeping an eye on this because a lot of players, yeah, they just don't get the blacksmith upgrades. The only reason why this one has got the pips is, remember that Carlo is, well, they're both playing as the French. So if you play as the French, the melee techs are free when you tech up. You don't have to buy them, they instantly are yours. But like, Carlo, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he embodies your classic bronzer. He'll get most, if not all, the eco upgrades. He'll even get ones that, you know, he probably is never going to use, like survival techniques. I mean, he did use it a bit here, in fairness. But why would I ever upgrade my army? You know, because like, if you say you have to upgrade them, they hear replacement, right? And Carlo, he's kind of like your Michael Scott. You know, he knows that he has an office full of people that maybe aren't as good at their job as they could be. but they're family, you know? And you don't replace family, even if they are clearly inferior. Now, instead, what you do is you allow natural selection and time to take its course. And then, when they're gone, inheritance. And that is why family is important. Copper Cop. Really? He's just taking his time on this. I mean, like, he has such a big army, he could keep pressing in. But folks, like, there's one crippling weakness you will see in this game for Copper Cop. He doesn't see the enemy anymore. They have disappeared. It's Where's Waldo? Where are they? He's discovered them again, though. And thus it's time to begin the siege. Meanwhile, Carlo continues to be attacked from the unknown. He doesn't have his conquistadors to go and discover this new territory. He has to send the entire army, and the entire army's clicked onto Trebuchet! No! No, Carlo! But hey, he's gonna get that trap, right? He's getting... Damn it. But we almost got him! Few troops will limp away from that battle on Carlo's side. They'll be the grandpas that tell the story as if they actually won the war. But we almost had them, Sonny. They were on the ropes. We were, damn it, we were just seconds away. And we would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those goddamn Frenchmen. I feel like I should have put more like a German accent on that or something. But Carlo has hope because he still has stone. Miraculously, the extension to the east did not discover much in the way of gold past this one vein, but plenty of stone. And that's what's really been slowing down the game. I think Copper has finally had enough, though. He should start to realize by now, me strong. And why will he realize that? Because of his 8 traders, guys, come on. They're unstoppable. And he's unstoppable. He marches into the base. Carlo, once again, what is he clicking? It's the trebuchets. I'm starting to think that when Carlo was a small child, he may have been hurled out of a baby-sized trebuchet. Either that, or he was attacked by a trebuchet. I'm leaning more towards the former because I think his chances of surviving being hurled out of a trebuchet are probably higher than being hit by a trebuchet. Then again, if the Age of Empires 4 trebuchets... No, actually, yeah, getting hit by a trebuchet, because these things always miss you when they enter you. Trust me, I've tested this. I tried to assassinate a king with 20 trebuchets. They all missed. So, yeah, I'm starting to think that he was attacked by a trebuchet when he was a child. And thus, Carlo holds a grudge against these things. When he sees one, he goes into a fit of rage. And it makes sense now why he's green. Because he goes full Hulk. He definitely went full bulk here with the keep line. But I think... Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the beginning of the end. Copper Cop. Carlo, he built a treb, but he refused to use it. His childhood would not allow him. He lacks the army anymore. I think it's fair to say that Carlo has given up all hope. But Carlo, do not fret, my friend. Because one of the beautiful things that comes out of playing a mirror matchup in Age of Empires 4 is that when the game closes and we say which Civ won, you were playing that Civ. Now, if I say which player or color won, unfortunate. But as long as I say French wins, Carlo is a winner. He's definitely a winner in the losing workers department. He's lost 67 to 3. But Carlo has one last-ditch effort, one last hope, the proxy base. He has one landmark left. But he's hired the Navy SEALs of Spearmen. They're in. If they could force the entire army home, if they could stop the siege, or if they can burn down all 3 landmarks themselves, forget it. It's fair to say, but Carlo's time to play has come to an end. The proxy base was a nice idea. Imagine if this came a lot earlier in the game. The damage he could have maybe done on the flanks. Instead, Copper Corp is going to make sure that not only is Carlo lost the game, but also that he's homeless. And he is about to lose that game. Final landmark's been taken out by 3 Trebs. And maybe Carlo was right. Maybe we were the ones that had the wrong idea. Because clearly, Carlo should have been prioritizing the Trebs this entire game. Because they're the reason why he lost.